Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to begin the County Commission meeting this evening. We thank each of you that are here for our meeting. If in fact you are in the audience and you have a pager or cell phone, we please ask that you silence that so that we can conduct our business tonight without any interruption. As we open the meeting tonight, you can see on our screens above us, we have slides that are appearing, and we'll have those running through our reports tonight so that you can see some of the devastation that's taken place within our county this last 10 days. It has been a very, very difficult time for the citizens in our community, and all of us, on behalf of the County Commission, we want to thank all of the folks who have been a part of making the rescues and all the things that have taken place. It's been a very traumatic experience for every Williamson Countyman that lives in this county, and we certainly want to send our love and our heartfelt concern out to all the families. If you've had the opportunity, as I have, to be out across the county, you've seen what has actually occurred, and those families are preeminent in our minds and should cause us all to focus on how blessed we are to be where we are today, and thank God for it. So as we open our session tonight, I would like to ask you to stand for the invocation. I've asked Commissioner Ricky Jones to lead us in our invocation, and then we'll have Commissioner Bert Chalfant lead us in our pledge to our great flag. Please stand, please.
Please bow. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the blessings that you have given us, and you have given us many blessings. We ask that you be with the people of our county and our state, and the mid-state area especially those that's been affected by the flooding, those that have lost lives and property. We ask that you have a healing hand upon them, and just thank you for all the citizens and the families, the churches, and our government and the other government's agencies that's been helping these people recover their lives and get back to a normal life. We ask that you be with us tonight as government officials and leaders as we deliberate many issues and questions, and be with us and guide us. And we ask that you be with each of us throughout the rest of this year. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. At this time, Mr. Lane, if everyone would press their present button so we can have a roll call vote, please.
I have 24 present.
Thank you, Ms. Anderson. 24 present. Appreciate everyone being here tonight. Approval of the minutes of the regular March 8, 2010 County Commission meeting. Copies were mailed to each of you, and I'll entertain a motion at this time to accept and adopt those minutes.
Second.
Commissioner Cook, the motion. Commissioner Chalfant, the second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Show it unanimous. Thank you. Introduction and acceptance of the Highway Commission minutes. These were sent out to you in the mail. I'll entertain a motion to accept those. Commissioner Wilson, the second. Commissioner Tommy Little, the second. All in favor of acceptance of the Highway Commission minutes say aye. Aye. Opposed? Show it unanimous. So ordered. Citizens communication. We have no one that signed up to address the commission this evening under citizens communications. Moving on to communications and messages. We have a couple of proclamations. At this time, I'll recognize our Mayor, Rogers Anderson.
Chairman, if you would, let me ask Judge Easter to please step forward. We have a proclamation tonight declaring this is Drug Court Month. And if you would allow me the liberty to let him identify or acknowledge some of his people that are here. I know the chairman is here, Bob Adjutant, many of you know. Judge Easter?
Be fine. Welcome, Judge.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing us to be here tonight. We have, I think, the whole drug court staff here tonight. Of course, you know Gail Harris and Dennis Bates, the district attorney, Kim Helper, she's on our staff or on our team. Chris Clausey with the Franklin Police Department, Liz Willett from staff, and then Captain Dobbins with the Sheriff's Department. Also, we have some board members here, Sharon Guffey, Referee Guffey, and then, as you've indicated, our Chairman Bob Adjutant, and then David G. also with staff.
Thank you, Judge. If you all would allow me to read this. It's a proclamation declaring May 2010 as the Drug Court Month in Williamson County. Whereas drug court has proven to be the most effective tool for reducing substance abuse and crime in our criminal justice system, and nationwide for the past 21 years, drug courts have been restoring lives, reuniting families, and making communities safer. And the results of a long-term evaluation and studies have yielded definite evidence that drug courts are effective in significantly improving substance abuse treatment outcomes, substantially reducing drug abuse and crime, and do so less expensive than any other justice strategy. And whereas over 27,000 judges, prosecutors, defense attorneys, substance abuse and rehabilitation professionals, law enforcement and community supervision personnel, research and educators, national and community leaders, and others dedicated to drug court are healing families and communities across the country. And whereas the drug court movement has grown from the 12 original drug courts in 1995 to over 2,400 operational drug courts across the nation. And our own, the 21st Drug Court, serving the 21st Judicial District, was established in 2002 to reduce crime, restore the lives of addicted offenders, reunite families, and provide these results at significantly reduced cost to the community. And whereas the 21st Drug Court will recognize National Drug Court Commencement Day on May 18, 2010 by the graduation ceremonies, it will have to celebrate the promise of recovery and restore hope to the 21st Court graduates and their families. I, by the mayor signing this, do hereby declare this is Drug Court Month in Williamson County. Thank you very much, Judge.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for this honor, Chairman, and I always appreciate the support of this body. You've been supportive of drug court since day one here in Williamson County in the 21st Judicial District, and we greatly appreciate that, and we hope that each of you will be able to make our graduation a week from tomorrow night, May 18th, in the historical courthouse at 6 o'clock. Thank you.
Mayor?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. One more time, I'll ask Bill Jorgensen, our director of the 911. Many of you know next week is the Emergency Medical Services Week, May 16th through the 22nd, and it's a proclamation. And let Alan Lovett. There he is, Alan. Thank you, Alan. Whereas emergency medical services is a vital public service, and whereas the members of the emergency medical service teams are ready to provide life-saving care to those in need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and whereas access to quality emergency care improves the survival and the recovery rate of those who experience sudden illness or injury, and whereas the emergency medical service system consists of emergency physicians, emergency nurses, paramedics, emergency medical technicians, first responders, telecommunicators, educators, administrators, and others. And whereas the member of the emergency medical service team, whether career or volunteer, engaged in thousands of hours of specialized training and continuing education to enhance the life-saving skills, and whereas it is appropriate to recognize the value and the accomplishments of the emergency medical services, designating Emergency Medical Service Week, that I, as the mayor, do hereby declare that May 16th to the 27th as the Emergency Medical Service Week here in Williamson County. Alan? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
appreciate the support this body provides us to provide quality and efficient emergency medical service to the community, and we appreciate everything that you do.
Thank you, Adam. Looking at our communications and messages, we have some housekeeping items we need to take care of this evening. You have in front of you 2 late filed resolutions that we'll need to enter onto the agenda. I'd like to add these at the conclusion of the funding resolutions. If you would please turn over to the second, third page at the end of the appropriations. 51034, we'll be adding late file resolution 51035, resolution amending the 2009-10 Highway Department capital projects budget and appropriate up to $500,000 for the road repairs due to flooding. Any opposition anywhere to adding this to the agenda as a late file resolution? If there are any objections, we won't hear tonight. Any objections? Let the record reflect there were no objections, so we'll add 51025 after 34, 35 after 34. And then late file resolution 51036, a resolution appropriating and amending the 2009-10 capital projects and solid waste department budgets by an amount not to exceed $857,000. Revenues to come from unappropriated solid waste fund balance and tipping fees. Any opposition to hearing this resolution tonight? I see none. We'll add that after number 35. Also, resolution number 51014 has been pulled. 510-14. This resolution is not required because there were sufficient revenues within the budget to take care of it, so we don't need to have an additional resolution added here tonight on our business for tonight. And also in front of you is a resolution amendment that I would bring to your attention that will be made on the floor at the proper time tonight. Attachment to resolution 51029. This is an amendment that will be offered by the makers of the resolutions, so please have that handy as we go through our business tonight. And finally, we have resolution number 5-10-34. It is at the very end of our agenda, and without objection, I would like to move that to our first resolution to take care of. This is a resolution appropriating and amending the 2009-10 public transportation budget by $128,191. I've been requested to move that up. Is there any opposition at all to hearing that as the first appropriations resolution tonight as we start our work? Resolution 51034, move it up in front of 510-8. Any objections? I see none, so we will take care of that resolution at that point. Report of county offices. I recognize County Mayor Roger Sanderson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If I could let David give us a snapshot of the financial side of the county.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, of course we didn't meet last month, so we'll try to bring you up to date from our last meeting, and we do have a couple of items that were passed out tonight, and apologize for that not being in the packet, but with some of the information we just actually received today, and trying to keep you up to date as close as possible on things as they're changing. But in your packet, we have 2 of our monthly budget reports for February and March. March being 3/4 of the year, and everything appears to be in order in that report. If you look at the revenues, the majority of them are above the 75%, which would be the average for this time of year. And on the appropriation, the majority of them are below, with the exception of the debt service funds, and the way those fall, they just don't always fall in nice even 1/12 packages, so nothing out of line at that point. We did just today receive the April privilege tax report. So you have April, March, and February privilege tax reports. And then we have the chart that we've been doing for you to take a look at those over the past 3 or 4 years. And again, we keep hoping to see a trend. It may be a little early to say that this is a trend, but for the last 2 months on the regular privilege tax and on the adequate schools facilities tax, we're above the 200,000 mark, which we've only had that 3 times this budget year, March and April and back in December. So we would certainly hope that that would continue to grow. And then finally, we have the report from the Cool Springs Marriott Conference Center. We know we've had a very rough year there and continue to do so. We had basically a break-even month in February, and then in March we were down $18,000. And you will see a resolution later on in the package, and we'll be happy to answer any questions at that point, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Coleman. Any questions of Mr. Coleman at this point? I see none. Thank you, David.
Mr. Chairman, I don't normally do this, but I'd like to forego my time, but just a couple of minutes at the end. I see there's 2 or 3 people out here that have worked very diligently over the last 10 days. Would you mind if I ask them to come up, particularly Sheriff?
Well, I've already asked the sheriff to come up.
Well, let's have him, and then there's 2 more
whenever you
here.
finish your portions, you gonna do the sheriff first?
Yeah.
Sheriff Long, would you come forward, please, sir, to...
What I'd like to do is for him to give you a snapshot, then immediately follow Mr. Chairman, if you would, Mike Thompson and Bill Jorgensen. Neither of these men knew they were going to do this. We'll see how well they think on their feet and what they can describe, and so you have an opportunity. It's easy for me to sit up here and talk about it, but these are the men that were dealing with it on a first-time basis.
Thank you, Mayor. Sheriff?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. First of all, let me tell you what an honor it is for me to have the opportunity to stand up here before you when all of the people that should be up here is the ones out here in this room. Many dedicated people worked this last week, and I can't tell you how proud I am to be a resident of Williamson County, especially after what I saw take place. And the dedication that they did, the hours they put in, is just amazing. I have to say some thank yous, and I'm afraid to mention agencies because I'm afraid that I will miss somebody. But I do want to say thank you to all the first responders who are all volunteers, thanking them for their cooperation and for their assistance in the recent flooding. I want to thank Mayor Anderson, Diane, Chairman Narron for their support and their assistance. There were times when we needed assistance and we needed support. One such instance was at midnight on the night that we were rescuing people out of River Landing. The Tennessee National Guard, who had been an outstanding success helping us rescue people, we like 63 people having them rescued from the waters. And their drill weekend would expire at midnight. Their orders were to cancel at midnight and leave us without the trucks that we needed. I called Mayor Anderson. Short time later, through him calling Commissioner Dave Mitchell with the Department of Safety, who also is a resident of Williamson County, thank goodness. And then on to Adjutant General, Major General Max Haston. Those troops were allowed to stay, and I must tell you we were able to succeed in rescuing 63 people in the last group that we rescued out of River Landing at one time. I want to thank Eddie Hood and the Highway Department. I know we called them all day, all night. I think they actually ran out of signs, probably ran out of cones as we did, trying to block the highways because there were so many. And the cooperation there, I just can't tell you how good it was. I also feel like that I need to mention Bill Jorgensen and his staff, the telecommunicators. They handled hundreds and probably thousands of calls and handled them with professionalism and with calm demeanor and really assured the people who were calling in that help would be on the way and people would get to them as quick as they can. I know at one time our department was running 30 calls behind at one time. That's the volume of calls that were coming in to the communication center. Also, the cooperation of the community is involved. The people of Williamson County are fantastic. They were absolutely fantastic during this whole thing. The cooperation that we got when we asked them to cooperate and help us to do things to help speed up the rescue, we couldn't ask for anything any better. I also feel like that I've got to mention my own deputies. I want you to know how proud I am to be the head of the agency where my officers in particular risked their lives on the night of the flooding. I had deputies who were literally wading water up to their necks, rescuing people out of houses. That shows the dedication you have of the employees here in Williamson County. We did have a scare, and I will tell you, my heart stopped. We had a scare where I was notified by the telecommunicators that one of my deputies had overturned in a boat and was in the water, and they didn't have any contact with him. And for a few minutes, that few minutes was a life of eternity, I can tell you, not knowing. Thank goodness he was okay. Thank goodness all of them were okay. But that was some of the things that we faced. We continued our efforts through the Sheriff's Department with the citizens of River Landing and Cottonwood in particular. Those were the ones that had the most, the largest number of people affected. We have all over the county affected, and I don't mean to demean any of the other areas or say that were any less important. These were the ones that had the highest population area that we were, and we stayed with those people throughout the week. Congestion in those areas were absolutely terrible. Sanitation trucks couldn't get through. The trucks couldn't get through to haul the debris away, and we finally set up a pattern with traffic control to keep the traffic flowing through those neighborhoods so the assistance could get in. We are committed to assist any of those people further that need any help. We will assist them to the end, and we will do whatever we need to. To the people that were affected, I would like to say that our prayers are with you, and I must tell you that the volunteer spirit of this county and this state is absolutely amazing, and I am so proud of it. I will say that Williamson County was tested strong, and I'm here proud to tell you that I felt like we met the test. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sheriff. Mike?
Well, the mayor's right. I wasn't even for sure I was going to be here. I've been in a meeting at Centennial High School that the city had with some FEMA people, SBA people, and we counted about 300 that were there at that meeting. We're also scheduling one, or trying to schedule one in the Spring Hill area. They've requested ones as of today. I hope to have a formal report for you at the next meeting in writing, but we're still early in this disaster. I will say a couple of things, kind of echo what the sheriff talking about. He was involved, and of course my office was involved, not only in this weekend that this happened, but the weekend before. If you remember, we had severe weather in the middle of potential 100,000 people on Main Street and 5 high school proms going on. So we actually spent the weekend before on severe weather also. Some of the things that are current things that are going on today, Disaster Recovery Center opened in Franklin at noon. It's in the old police station, which worked out fine because they had just moved out, so we had that room to put them in. They'll be open 7 a.m. to 7 a.m., 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. each day until further notice. We've been working really hard on our damage assessment. We want to try to get it as right as we can. It's going to take a lot of time. This is a big one. But I want to thank other county offices for helping us. We're a staff of 2 right now, and we'd be 6 months doing this by ourselves. But Wayne Franklin, Matt Largen, and Mike Weber for department heads, for instance, that supported us on that effort. And there were about 7 other county employees, and I won't even try to name them all from the top of my head, that helped us over 2 days on some of the damage assessment. Right now, our current count, which we still got a lot to enter, is about 1,100 structures damaged. That's the best guesstimate we can get right now until we get everything entered, and they still come in every day. If the trend holds, because we're trying to get all the addresses in, then we have to go through each assessment record, we'll have about $70 million in losses, strictly structural losses in the county. FEMA Community Relations people have been in the county since last week meeting with people. They're the ones that go out and find out if people are having any specific issues, specific needs, that kind of thing. Individual assistance people, which are the ones that go and inspect the homes for people that have registered with FEMA. I got word that they were already in the county making inspections on some of the homes, so things are moving quick. Public assistance, which is where we recover our government costs, they will start in the counties tomorrow. I got a partial schedule about an hour ago. Our highway department was listed on that, but the rest of the cities weren't, so I'm assuming there's more of a schedule coming. Each team has 8 counties, so it may take a while before they actually get to us. Just a little bit that you may have not heard about this storm. We had nearly 18 inches of rain in 2 days. Saturday we had over 12 inches by itself. The previous record was 7.25 inches in 1979. County, Brentwood, and Franklin personnel, best numbers we can get was nearly 600 rescues performed. There was a microburst. We got some word on possible tornado in the Old Natchez Trace area. The Weather Service confirmed that that was a microburst, which had 70 to 80 mile an hour winds on Saturday morning. The Harpeth itself did not top the record. This flood will actually be third at 35.14 feet. The record is 35.2 feet in 1968 and 48. Of course, I don't know how accurate the gauges were compared to today in 68 and 48, so, but as far as the official records, we have not topped it. Things going on every day. We're dealing with different kinds of problems every day. We've had animal situations. The mayor mentioned one of those. We've had some other ones. We've had septic situations. We've had a little bit of everything. We don't know what it's going to be when the phone rings. We're just getting started. This is going to be a long process, the recovery and everything. We're estimating our office will be extremely busy on it probably for about 2 months, and then it'll go on for years. And to give you a good example, last week we had closed out the tornado disaster from 2 years ago. I was talking to somebody from another state today in emergency management. They were shocked that we were managed to close out any disaster in 2 years, but we did manage to get that one closed out, but now we're right back into another one. So this is going to be a long, long process, but with the support of the cities, which has been fantastic, and the other county departments, we'll come along, and I think we'll be all right.
Any questions of Mr. Thompson? Thank you, Mike. Bill? Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I've got my notes right in front of me for this impromptu. Thank you. All I can do is really echo what the sheriff said about the support that we had from the chairman, from the mayor's staff, risk management. I know there was lots of people in and out of dispatch. There was lots of people in and out of dispatch when I wasn't there. I left to come to work. It's usually a 13-minute drive from the Boston community where I live at. It took me 5.5 hours to get to work. I could not get here from there. There was no way to get here. I felt absolutely terrible that I could not get here and support staff that was working very hard, because there was only 3 people in the dispatch center at the time when this happened, and they were on their own. It's just amazing what they did until help could get here, and it took a while for help to arrive to shore them up. And then all the food that kept coming in, and definitely the coffee, because you need coffee when you're working 30 hours straight. But again, I just want to thank our staff and all the people that were out there working hard. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
Houston, if you allow me to say a few remarks, I would like to commend so many people during this time, and I know you hear that all over the county. It's just great to be mayor of a county like this, and you all should feel very honored as county commissioners that you've got a great staff. You've got a great bunch of folks here in Williamson County. Bert was there just doing menial tasks of answering the phone for about 10 or 12 hours, sitting there all day long. We asked him, can you do this for us? And he did it. We've done cross-training like you've never seen. We've gone to other elected officials, which is unheard of in county government, and said, can you give us a few bodies? And they did that. You heard Mike talk about assessments, As you all know, we've still got to go through another issue starting here in the next couple of days. It's called budget. So we've rained down people, we've not hired people, and we had to call in some other areas to come in and help do these assessments that are essential. And without exception, every single person has responded and done it in a professional manner. But the real work, and you're probably sitting there, well, why didn't you acknowledge Eddie Hood and the Lewis Bumpuses of the world? Well, their work really started. It's now. You know, the sheriff, all he had to do was play around in water and get his men to do that and rescue people. The real work is Eddie Hood fixing all these roads, the sinkholes, the slide outs and all that. I hope you enjoyed the film. Those were compliments of him, most of them in his department. I'm not making light of it, but it is going to be a long time. Later tonight, you're going to have a request for $500,000 for just money taken out of the budget. That's why, David, that's why all of you are conservative and you say no all year long for these kind of emergencies. And don't think that the $500,000 we're asking for tonight is going to be it. There is no way $500,000 will fix all of the roads that we have here in Williamson County. And then Lewis Bumpus, he's asking for a little over $750,000 to shore up the landfill, to hit the solid waste. These were some numbers that Lewis provided, kind of mind-boggling, and I'm going to round off. Normally we received in hazardous one household waste 75 tons a day. That's approximate. During the last few days, we've been receiving 300 tons a day in hazardous one household waste. The one that's really interesting is under Class 3-4 construction and demolition. We normally receive 350 to 400 cubic yards a day. We've been receiving 900 to 1,000 cubic yards a day, and we've got a lot more. We've got some great news this afternoon. We just got to dot the I's and cross the T's about some container use out in for our county residents, thanks to Lewis, thanks to FEMA, thanks to some other people. As soon as we can get all of our eggs lined up, we'll be doing some other announcement. Our website, if you haven't had a chance to go to it, go to it. Look at the work that some of our IT guys have worked all weekend getting this up to date. And it's something that we all should be proud of, not the website, but all the involvement of the people. And so it's my honor to do that. Finally, it's my honor to acknowledge that. Finally, you know, there's always people in our community that step up at the least unbelievable time. And many times the businesses are hit just as hard as we are. Individuals are hit. Our dauber's down sometimes, but Diane gets a phone call from somebody on Friday. It's called Tennessee Bank and Commerce. They said, we want to pay for the boat, the lost material that went down with the rescue squad. And that was about a $2,500 check. They wrote, delivered it over today. We will take it to the rescue squad. That's the true entrepreneurial. And guess what? There's more coming. I'm just sure of that, to help someone defray some of these costs for our men and women and our communities here in Williamson County. But Tennessee Bank wrote the check, hand delivered it over here today, and for the city of Franklin, they're sending money also. Another $2,500, a total of $5,000 that they wrote a check for. So it's just great to live in a community like this. Sad, but what has happened. But churches, individual businesses, they've all stepped up to the plate, Mr. Chairman, and we'll have more to report in the days ahead.
Well, on behalf of the County Commission, I want to thank you and especially Diane for being here. It was a 24-hour operation, and we were there because of the things that were there, and I shared, and the sheriff talked about his most unhappy moment to hear that come over the airways. I happened to be sitting at the dispatch panel when I heard that our officer had capsized in the middle of all that water, and I can't tell you how good a feeling it was when I heard Car 1, which is our sheriff, on the way to rescue his person. So you know, those sorts of things took place. It was a very difficult, challenging weekend, but I want to thank Diane because she was here every minute that I was here. I arrived after being with the sheriff's offices most of the nights Saturday night and stayed all night and all day Sunday, and Diane never left. So Diane, thank you for your work in helping us get all that together. So from moving horses to animals that got cornered in with the water, I know Tony's department was very involved, Doug's was, and Kenny Wallace at the Ag Center, so just a lot of things going on, and just we appreciate and thank you for all that you've done, and Godspeed to the families that are suffering, and will allow us to do everything that we can to help them with that. Anything else on the flood? We'll move from the flood to the other things, but any comments? Commissioner Walton, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. But I have one request, and probably Eddie could answer this. Out in my area, the bridge on Sneed Road, do we have a status on that?
Mr. Hood, would you come forward, please, sir?
It's probably a week to 10 days. It's not the bridge, it's the road going up to the bridge between Vaughn Road and the bridge itself. But when the water came over, it washed from the roadway as well as the guardrail. And we have to replace that back before we can open it back up.
Okay. Well, and I've been getting a lot of calls about it.
Right.
But, and that's right where I forget what Mike referred to it, as a mini tornado or whatever. And I didn't know if trees fell on it.
Right.
It did.
Yeah, but that's what it is. It's actually the roadway.
Okay.
Between Vaughn and the bridge.
Well, that's probably good news.
Right, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving along, Williamson County Schools Director, Dr. Michael Looney. He was here with his Alabama hat on.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. I am happy to report to you that school is back in session. We're proceeding as normally as we can. Many of our employees, too, worked additional hours and endangered themselves preparing school during Monday so that we could open late on Tuesday. I would note that we had 95% student attendance on Tuesday, and 93% of our employees came in, many of whom lost their own personal belongings and homes and came to work to be prepared to serve the students so that the parents could focus on the recovery effort away from their worrying about their children. Having said that, we do have some minor damage in our buildings. 4 of our school buildings were affected specifically by the storm. None of them catastrophic incidents. We cleaned all those buildings up, and they're all functional at this time. We do have changing directions now. We do have several items on the agenda for your consideration tonight, some resolutions. We appreciate your consideration in those matters. Thank you.
Any questions of Dr. Looney at this point? Commissioner Ford, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Dr. Looney, thank you for being here. I got a couple of emails, and I just want to make sure I can present back accurate information from a couple of teachers talking about having not gotten raises for 3 years. Were the step increases, I know you weren't here, and so we may have to ask Leslie, were the step increases stopped for the past 3 years?
The answer is no. The rollover has been in effect, but that only applies to teachers that would have a step increase, and that happens independent of a raise that the commission would provide.
Okay, so the teachers under 20 years, they got the step increase?
That's correct.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I had accurate information. Thank you.
Other questions? Thank you, Commissioner Ford. Very well. Any other committee, anybody wishing to report at this time before we move on into the agenda? I see none. Elections and appointments. The election of the county mayor appointment, Board of Health, 4-year term expiring 4/14. Registered nurse position, Gina Roush. Nomination, Gina Roush. The DV, Doctor of Veterinary Medicine position, Charlie Beecham. Recommendation, nomination, Charlie Beecham. Graduate doctor position, C.A. Stilwell. C.A. Stilwell, the nomination. Graduate doctor position, Dr. Joe Willoughby. Joe Willoughby, nomination. Pharmacist position, Dr. Marty Myers. Recommendation, nomination, Marty Myers. And then graduate dentist position, J. Gary Owen. Nomination, J. Gary Owen. I'll entertain a motion.
Move. Second.
Commissioner Hayes, Commissioner Cook, the second, for adoption of the Board of Health. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Show it unanimous adoption of the Board of Health as recommended by the mayor. Equalization Board, this is a county commission appointment, 2-year term expiring 5/12. The Brentwood representative, Emil Mungeon. Nomination, Emil Mungeon. Southwest section, James E. Allen. Nomination, James E. Allen. Northwest section, Harold L. Jeffrey. Nomination, Harold L. Jeffrey. Southeast section, Ennis Wallace. Nomination, Ennis Wallace. Commissioner Jones, the motion. Commissioner Wilson, the second. Discussion. See none. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Show it unanimous adoption of the Equalization Board. Hospital Board of Trustees, 3-year terms expiring May of 2013. Districts 1 and 2, Jim Cross. Nomination, Jim Cross. Districts 11 and 12, Commissioner Mary Mills. Nomination, Commissioner Mary Mills. Commissioner Chalfont, Commissioner Lynch, the second of approval, and everybody else that chimed in. All in favor of the appointment here of the Hospital Board of Trustees, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Show that unanimous adoption of the Hospital Board of Trustees. The notaries, each of you have received a list of the notaries that have been sent out in the mail. And those have been recommended by Ms. Anderson, and I'll entertain a motion to accept the notaries as presented. Commissioner Mills, the motion. Commissioner Walton, the second, for the approval of the notaries.
Commissioner Walton did not second.
He raised his hand.
No, he has to tell you something.
Okay, I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Let Wilson second.
Commissioner Wilson, the second. Then I thought you raised your hand a second. You got a comment to make, Commissioner?
Yes, sir, I need to abstain. My name is on this
Okay,
list.
I'm sorry. Okay,
That's
good.
okay.
Didn't
Yeah,
want
there
to
you go.
push you through there, so, okay. So the motion is made and seconded, and Commissioner Wilson the second, so.
No, I need to abstain.
You need to abstain. Okay. All right, if we could, Madam Clerk, Commissioner Bain is the second, because we have an abstention for Commissioner Wilson and
Okay,
Commissioner Walton,
okay.
because they're on the list.
So the second would be,
Commissioner Bain,
thank you.
please, thank you. Any other abstentions? Okay, let the record reflect that Commissioners then Wilson and Walton are abstaining. All in favor of the notary list as presented with those 2 abstentions, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you very much. Show that unanimous. Moving on to the consent agenda. We have a consent agenda. I'll entertain a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. Commissioner Walton, Commissioner Brockman, the second. Any discussion? I see none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? So ordered. Unanimous adoption of the consent agenda. Moving on to new business, we do have a zoning issue that's here tonight, and we will at this time have a public hearing. Public hearing regarding Resolution 510-1, resolution to amend the Williamson County zoning ordinance regarding permanent restroom facilities. The chair will now declare that the public hearing is open. So it's open. If you wish to address this body, please come forward to the microphone that's at the rostrum. Identify yourself. We'll allow you to address the commission through this public hearing on Resolution 510-1. Anyone? I see no one. The public hearing is closed. We'll now entertain resolution number 510-1, resolution to amend the Williamson County zoning ordinance regarding permanent restroom facilities. Commissioner Walton, please.
Move for approval.
Commissioner Tommy Little, the second. This resolution went, let's see, committee reports. Excuse me. Planning, Commissioner Walton.
10-4-0 again.
Explanation, please, sir.
Yeah, yes, sir, this defines what a permanent restroom facility is. The Planning Commission felt like that it was a little vague, and we wanted to identify what a permanent facility was. This doesn't, as Ms. Brockman was asking me earlier, if you have a temporary event, you can still use a portable restroom.
Any questions of Commissioner Walton? Commissioner Parra, please.
Did this come up for any particular reason? Is there any specific case that you're trying to address? And would it affect restrooms that we have at baseball fields or something that we're, I don't know if they consider them permanent or not, but they're there all the time. So just want to know if this has any effect on anything current.
Christie's here to help explain that. There was an issue that brought it to light on the Planning Commission. And,
Christie, welcome.
Mr. Chairman, I'll try to answer that as best I can since this is my area of expertise. There've been a number of there've been a number of permanent commercial type uses that have come before the Planning Commission. And whereas a restroom facility might be required by building codes, it's not specifically stated so in the zoning ordinance. And so to clear up when it's required for a permanent use as opposed to a temporary use, the Planning Commission asked me to research what the definition of restroom would be, and basically it just references if the use is considered permanent by the zoning ordinance and building codes or another health regulation requires a permanent facility, it just mirrors that essentially. So as far as uses that are in place now, we would consider that non-conforming as it relates to this, and so we would consider, if changes come in, that's different, but any use that's in existence now would be a legal non-conforming as it relates to this provision.
Any follow-up, Commissioner Parra?
That's fine.
Thank you. Any other questions on this resolution of Commissioner Walton?
yeah. I just ask for your approval. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Attorney Yearwood, and she did a fine job on this, and it took several months to get it this far. So.
Very well. Thank you very much, Christie, for all of your hard work. This is up for consideration. It's on the floor, 5-10-1. If there's no further questions, if you're in favor of this resolution, press your yes button. Opposed, your no button. So everybody voted. Record a vote, please, Ms. Anderson.
24 yes.
Thank you very much. Resolution 5-10-1 is adopted. 24 yes, 0 no. Thank you very much. Moving on to appropriations, we'll now hear the resolution number 5-10-34, resolution appropriating and amending the 2009-10 public transportation budget by $128,191, revenues to come from federal funding through the state grant. I'll recognize Commissioner Hayes, please.
Move for approval.
Motion's made, and who was the second? Okay. If we could have reports of the committees on 5-10-34. Budget Committee, Commissioner Little, please.
4-0 against.
Thank you. Explanation, Commissioner Hayes.
I know all of you are aware of the success of our van pool program, and in order to completely keep on with improving our air quality and attempting to reduce the traffic congestion, there have been requests for additional vans. Money is available to the county and has been secured from the federal funds to purchase 4 additional vans, 15 passenger vans, and an ADA van. So with that $128,191, we will have other vans there available. There's a waiting list for them. So at least when they carpool, it's cutting a little congestion out. It's improving air quality. It's a win-win for everybody.
Any questions of Commissioner Hayes on this resolution? I see none. If you're in favor of resolution 5-10-34 as presented, press your yes button. Opposed, your no button. Has everybody voted that wishes to vote? Record a vote, please, Ms. Anderson.
24 yes.
Thank you very much. We adopt unanimously, 24 yes and 0 no. Thank you. Okay, going back to resolution number 5108, resolution appropriating and amending the 2009-10 Parks and Recreation budget by $5,640. Revenues to come from donations. Commissioner Walton.
Move for approval.
Commissioner Cook, the second. Parks and Recreation Committee.
5-4-0 against.
Thank you. Budget Committee, Commissioner Little.
3 in favor, 0 against.
Thank you, sir. Explanation, Commissioner Walton.
This is just a donation, kind of in and out money to help pay for activities at the park.
Okay. Any questions of Commissioner Walton on this resolution? I see none. If you're in favor of resolution 5108, press your yes button. Opposed, your no button. Record a vote, please, Ms. Anderson.
24 yes.
24 yes. We adopt unanimously resolution 5108. Resolution number 5109, resolution appropriating and amending the 2009-10 Parks and Recreation budget by $2,775. Revenues to come from donations. Commissioner Walton, please.
Move for approval.
Second, Commissioner Tommy Little. Parks and Recreation Committee.
5-4-0 against.
Thank you. Commissioner Little. Budget Committee.
3 in favor, 0 against.
Thank you. Explanation, Commissioner Walton, please.
Yes, sir. This is donations from various businesses to offset the expenses of the Parks and Rec's annual Easter egg hunt.
Very good. Thank you, sir. Questions? I see none. If you're in favor of this resolution, press your yes button. Opposed, your no button. Record a vote, please, Ms. Anderson. 24
yes.
Thank you very much. Unanimous adoption. 24 yes, 0 no. 5109. Resolution 5110. Resolution appropriating and amending the 2009-10 Parks and Recreation budget by $700. Revenues to come from donations. Commissioner Little, please.
Move for approval.
Commissioner Jones, the second. Parks and Recreation Committee, Commissioner Walton.
5-4-0 against.
Thank you. Budget Committee, Commissioner Little.
3 in favor, 0 against.
Thank you, sir. Explanation, please, sir.
This is the accounting for donations received to offset expenses for the Fairview Youth Baseball League.
Any questions of Commissioner Little on 5110? Seeing none, we'll call for the vote. If you're in favor, press your yes button. Opposed, your no button. Please record the vote, Ms. Anderson.
24 yes.
Thank you very much. Unanimous adoption, 24 yes, 0 no. Resolution number 5111, resolution appropriating and amending the 2009-10 Parks and Recreation budget by $32,852. Revenues to come from donation. Commissioner Little.
Move for approval.
Commissioner Barnwell, the second. Parks and Recreation Committee.
5-4-0 against.
Thank you. Budget Committee, Commissioner Little.
3 in favor, 0 against.
Thank you, sir. Explanation.
This is for donations received for the Parks and Recreation for the hiring and scheduling of referees and supervisors for the various softball leagues.
Thank you, sir. Questions of Commissioner Little? I see none. If you're in favor of Resolution 5111, press your yes button. Opposed, your no button. Record a vote, please, Ms. Anderson.
24 yes.
24 yes, 0 no. We unanimously adopt. Resolution number 5112, resolution appropriating and amending the 2009-10 county attorney's budget by $95,000. Revenues to come from unappropriated county general funds. Commissioner Little.
Move for approval.
Commissioner Lynch, the second. Budget Committee report, Commissioner Little.
3 in favor, 0 against.
Thank you. Explanation, please, sir.
Have a couple items where legal expenses are running over what we budgeted. The first one for the $80,000 is delinquent gross receipts for business tax, where we have an attorney going after those, and this is a good investment on our part, by the way. And the $15,000 are for fees for the Grassland Sewer Project ongoing there.
Thank you, sir. Questions of Commissioner Little? I see none. If you're in favor of 5112, press your yes button. Opposed, your no button. Record a vote, please, Ms. Anderson.
24 yes.
24 yes, 0 no. Resolution unanimously adopted. Resolution 51013, resolution appropriating and amending the 2009-10 county clerk's budget by $10,000 for additional postage, revenues to come from unappropriated county general funds. Commissioner Little, please.
Move for approval.
Second.
Commissioner Mills, the second. Thank you. Explanation, Commissioner Little, please.
Committee report, three in favor, 0 against.
Thank you, sir.
And the explanation, clerk's fee collects $2 fees, and they need additional funds for postage.
Any questions on this resolution? There's a great usage of that online service, isn't it, Ms. Elaine?
Yes, sir, certainly is.
And that's a great assistance to us to improve that service level. Thank you very much for your help.
Thank you.
In favor of Resolution 51013, if you're in favor, press your yes button. Opposed, your no button. Record a vote, please, Ms. Anderson.
24 yes.
24 yes and 0 no. We unanimously adopt. 51015, resolution appropriating and amending the 2009-10 Chancery Court Clerk and Master's budget by $3,500 for additional postage, revenues to come from unappropriated county general funds. Commissioner Little, please.
Move for approval.
Second.
Commissioner Mills, the second. Budget Committee report.
3 in favor, 0 against.
Thank you. Explanation, Commissioner Little, please.
The clerk and master's office needs a little more money for postage, and due to the increased number of delinquent business notices being sent out.
Very well. Questions of Commissioner Little? I see none. If you're in favor of 51015, press your yes button. Opposed, your no button. Everybody voted who wished to vote. Please record the vote, Ms. Anderson.
24 yes.
Unanimous adoption, 24 yes and 0 no. Resolution 51016. Resolution appropriating and amending the 2009-10 medical examiner's budget by $16,800, revenues to come from unappropriated county general funds. Commissioner Little, please.
Move for approval.
Second.
Commissioner Walton, the second. Public Health Committee report.
5 for, 0 against.
Thank you, sir. Budget Committee, please.
3 in favor, 0 against.
Thank you. Explanation, Commissioner Little.
Budgets for this year were based on 44 total cases, from the same number as last year. So far through April, we've had 44 cases, so we feel it's wise to budget for a few more cases. There is no increase in the per case number here. We're just budgeting for some more cases to come in for the next few months.
Thank you, sir. Questions of Commissioner Little? I see none. 51016. If you're in favor, press your yes button. Opposed, your no button. Commissioners Walton and Brunkman. Thank you. Record a vote, please, Ms. Anderson.
24 yes.
Thank you very much. Resolution unanimously adopted. Resolution number 51017. Resolution appropriating and amending the 2009-10 County General Miscellaneous Budget by $150,000. Revenues to come from unappropriated county general funds. Commissioner Little, please.
Move for approval.
Second.
Commissioner Mills, second. Budget Committee report. Commissioner Little, please.
3 in favor, 0 against.
Thank you, sir. Explanation.
The Cool Springs Conference Center, we book profits. We also book losses. As David gave in his report earlier, we've had a little bit of a rough year going this year. We feel we need to budget $150,000 more in that line item for anticipation for the rest of the year.
Commissioner Hayes, comment, question, please.
Yes, I just want to make note that there are 300 rooms at the Marriott Hotel which are connected to our conference center. Without that combination, we would not be able to book many of the meetings and conferences that are coming here. And we do benefit because of the lodging taxes that are collected through the hotels. And I will just tell you for notice that we have the Christian Music Convention Association Planners meeting coming in the latter part of this month, May 25th, 26th, and 27th. It was quite exceptional for them to come to this area. It will be a trade show, There will be approximately 175 to 200 planners who will be here. These are planners who will go back home and plan other Christian music conferences, conventions that will come here. So our income will be unbelievable as a result of this. It could not happen without our conference center, and I just thought it was worthy to make that note.
Thank you, Commissioner Hayes. Commissioner Ford, please.
Mr. Chairman, if I might ask Mr. Coleman a question on this. If I'm reading this appropriately, looks like we have losses totaling 159 and profits 82, so we're 77 or so in the hole. Is that correct?
That's correct, Commissioner. The way we have to do this in our budget, we have to record the revenue items separate from the expenditure item. We can't offset those, and so that's why this number's where it is.
So is this is this based upon bookings for the rest of the year and looking forward to what we're anticipating for the rest of the year?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
To cover the losses that we're anticipating for the rest of the year?
Yes, sir.
Have we seen any pickup in bookings at that facility based upon the Opryland being taken offline?
Sir, I haven't seen any figures. I've heard some conversation about that. I can't give you any exact figures, but I have heard some conversation that we would get some overflow on that.
And if that happens, what happens with this?
I'm not a marketing expert, but the trick is you may fill the 300 rooms, and if they're all individual travelers, that may have no effect on the conference
Yeah, I'm
center.
not
So,
concerned about
so
the
it has to be a group that's coming for a specific conference to really affect the conference center. So
Right.
that's my take on that.
Yeah, I'm not as concerned about the rooms. I'm concerned
Right,
about the
that's
conference
correct.
areas. So you haven't really seen any pickup with the...
No, sir, I haven't.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Hayes, back to you. Have a follow-up, please.
Yes, please. There are some additional conferences that are being scheduled, such as the one I mentioned, and we do have an overflow bill from Opryland. Embassy Suites and the Marriott have both been in touch, and they've both been sister groups, and I think they both have been reasonably filled because of the flood and replacement of Opryland's hotel. And we will see the lodging tax from that.
Any further questions on Resolution 51017? I see none. If you're in favor of 51017, press your yes button. Opposed, your no button. Record the vote, please, Ms. Anderson.
24 yes.
Thank you very much. 24 yes, 0 no. Will unanimously adopt 51017. 51021, resolution appropriating and amending the 2009-10 County Commission tax relief for the elderly budget by $100,000. Revenues to come from unappropriated county general funds. Commissioner Little, please.
Move for approval.
Second.
Commissioner Wilson, the second. Tax Study Committee report.
4 for, 0 against.
Thank you. Budget Committee, Commissioner Little.
3 in favor, 0 against.
Thank you. Explanation, please, sir.
One of those good news, bad news. The county has a tax relief program for the elderly in place, and we have a few more people applying for it than we had originally budgeted, so we're adding $100,000 to that line item.
Thank you, sir. Questions of Commissioner Little on this program? A very excellent program, and we certainly want the folks available to participate in it to do that. So, but no further questions? In favor of Resolution 51021, press your yes button. Opposed, your no button. Everybody's voted. Record the vote, please, Ms. Anderson.
24 yes.
Thank you very much. 24 yes, 0 no. We unanimously adopt. 51022, resolution appropriating and amending the 2009-10 medical insurance by $411,500 for all funds. Commissioner Little, please.
Move for approval.
Motion is seconded by Commissioner Cook. The committee reports, Purchasing and Insurance Committee.
4 for, 0 against.
Thank you. Budget Committee.
3 in favor, 0 against.
Thank you. Explanation, Commissioner Little.
The county has a self-insurance fund for the employees' health insurance, and based on the claims for this year and what we're seeing that anticipated for liabilities, we have provided additional funds for that to be paid from undesignated fund balance. This is the county general portion of it. The next Move for approval and ask your support.
Any questions, further questions of Commissioner Little? This is for County General, Solid Waste and Sanitation, and Highway and Medical. So those are the three areas, Highway, Solid Waste, Sanitation, County General. Anything further on 5-10-22? See nothing. If you're in favor, press your yes button. Opposed, your no button. Everybody's voted. Record the vote, please, Ms. Anderson.
24 yes.
Thank you very much. Resolution we adopt unanimously, 24 yes and 0 no. Resolution 5-10-23, resolution amending the 2009-2010 general purpose school central cafeteria and extended school program funds budget, $1,729,500 from related undesignated fund balances for increased medical and dental insurance. Commissioner Smith, please.
Move for approval.
Second.
Commissioner Langston, the second. School board report is 12 yes and 0 no. Education committee?
6 yes, 0 no.
Thank you, sir. Budget committee, Commissioner Little?
3 in favor, 0 against.
Thank you. Explanation, Commissioner Smith, please.
As Commissioner Little stated in the previous resolution, the county has requested of the school system the general purpose fund, the central cafeteria, and extended school program funds to amend their budget by $500 per employee or retiree from each of those funds. And this totals $1,729,500. And I would ask for your approval.
Thank you, sir. Questions of Commissioner Smith on 5-10-23? See none. If you're in favor, press your yes button. Oppose your no button. Everybody voted. Please record the vote, Ms. Anderson.
24 yes.
Thank you very much. We unanimously adopt 24 yes and 0 no. Resolution 5-10-24, resolution appropriating $75,000 for additional legal fees in the 2009-10 general purpose school budget from unappropriated fund balance. Commissioner Smith, please.
Move for approval.
Second.
Commissioner Langston, the second. Thank you. School board report, 12 yes, 0 no. Education committee?
6 yes, 0 no.
Thank you. Budget?
3 in favor, 0 against.
Thank you. Explanation, Commissioner Smith, please.
There's a need for additional budget monies for legal services performed on behalf of the school system to complete the year based on the way the budget has run so far this particular year.
Thank you, sir. Questions of Commissioner Smith on 5-10-24? Seeing none. If you're in favor, press your yes button. Opposed, your no button. Everybody's voted. Ms. Elaine, record the vote, please.
24 yes.
Thank you very much. 24 yes, 0 no. We unanimously adopt. 5-10-25, resolution appropriating $75,000 from current revenue for related trustee commission. Commissioner Smith, please.
Move for approval.
Second.
Commissioner Walton, the second. School board report, 12 yes, 0 no. Education committee?
6 yes, 0 no.
Thank you, sir. Budget committee?
3 in favor, 0 against.
Thank you. Explanation, Commissioner Smith.
Well, there's a budgeted item for expenses for the trustees commission for collection on property tax, and the property tax is coming in over budget, and so the commission line item needs to be increased by $75,000.
Thank you, sir. Questions of Commissioner Smith on this resolution? Seeing none. If you're in favor, press your yes button. Opposed, your no button. Everybody's voted. Record a vote, please, Ms. Anderson.
24 yes.
Thank you very much. 24 yes, 0 no. We unanimously adopt resolution 5-10-25. 5-10-26, resolution appropriating $40,000 in settlement of a due process case, funding to come from unappropriated fund balance. Commissioner Smith?
Move for approval.
Second.
Commissioner Mills, the second. School board report, 12 yes, 0 no. Education committee?
6 yes, 0 no.
Thank you, sir. Budget?
3 in favor, 0 against.
Thank you. Explanation, Commissioner Smith.
This is a resolution of a due process case. The court ruling requires a settlement of $40,000, a portion of that in legal fees, a portion in services provided to the student while the case was in dispute. And I would ask for your approval.
Thank you, sir. Questions of Commissioner Smith? I see none. If you're in favor of 51026, so indicate by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no button. Commissioner Chalfant, please. Record a vote, please, Ms. Anderson.
24 yes.
Thank you very much. 24 yes, 0 no. We unanimously adopt. Resolution 51027, resolution transferring funds between major categories for certain salary account codes in the 2009-10 General Purpose School Fund. Commissioner Smith.
Move for approval.
Second. Commissioner Tommy Little, the second. School Board report, 12 yes, 0 no. Education Committee.
6 yes, 0 no.
Thank you. Budget Committee.
3 in favor, 0 against.
Thank you. Explanation, Commissioner Smith.
This is a resolution we have each year. When the year starts, the school system budgets for a number of teachers, certain numbers of teachers. Within the existing budget, though, they need to go back and make some transfers based on different educational levels attained during the year where a particular salary has to be adjusted. This does not increase the budget. It is simply transferring within the salary budget that exists.
Questions of Commissioner Smith on 1027? I see none. If you're in favor, press your yes button. Opposed, your no button. Everybody's voted. Commit. Thank you. Record a vote, please, Ms. Anderson.
24 yes.
Thank you very much. Unanimous adoption. 24 yes, 0 no. Resolution 51033, resolution appropriating and amending the 2009-10 animal control and capital projects budgets by $100,000. Revenues to come from private donations. Commissioner Hayes, please.
Move for approval.
Second.
Commissioner Cook, the second. Budget Committee report.
4 in favor, 0 against.
Thank you, sir. Explanation, please, Commissioner Hayes.
It's been my privilege to work with a task force to review our animal control program for any potential revisions or updating. Next month, we will see a resolution of rules and regulations pertaining to our animal control. One thing that was noted that we didn't have the capital money to air condition the kennels where the animals stay. And $100,000 had already been given as a private donation for that. Upon looking and making the request and doing the checking, we found out that was going to come short. So taking that back to the task force, another $100,000 was donated to make the additional air conditioning go through the kennels, and then $20,000 would be for additional equipment that is needed, such as blood pressure cups and other things that are needed. By private donation, no tax dollars.
Thank you for doing what you're doing, Commissioner Hayes. Keep up the good work. Any questions of Commissioner Hayes on this resolution 51033? See none. If you're in favor of 51033, please so indicate by voting yes. Opposed, no. Record a vote, please, Ms. Anderson.
24 yes.
Thank you very much. We unanimously adopt. 24 yes and 0 no. Resolution number 51034, resolution appropriating and amending the Sure did. I'll do it again. 35. Late file resolution 51035, resolution amending the 2009-10 Highway Department budget, capital projects budget, and appropriate up to $500,000 for road repairs due to flooding. Commissioner Hancock, please.
Move for approval.
Second from Commissioner Brockman. Highway Commission report was 4-4, 0 against. Budget Committee, Commissioner Little, please.
Budget Committee didn't vote on this.
Okay, no vote. Late file resolution. Explanation, Commissioner Hancock, please.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, this is the thing that the mayor and the highway superintendent spoke of earlier. This will allow them to have the revenues necessary to start the repair process for these roads and bridges. And, you know, we don't know whether or not this will cover it all, but it certainly will be a great start.
Thank you, Commissioner Hancock. Any questions of Commissioner Hancock on this resolution? I see none. If you're in favor of 51035, please press your yes button. Opposed, your no button. Record a vote, please, Ms. Anderson.
24 yes.
Thank you. Resolution 51035 unanimously adopted. 24 yes and 0 no. Resolution number 51036. Resolution appropriating and amending the 2009-10 capital projects and solid waste department budgets by an amount not to exceed $857,000. Revenues to come from unappropriated solid waste fund balance and tipping fees. I signed this because we needed a sponsor. Judy, Ms. Hayes, I'll let you entertain this. I signed it in your absence. So.
Thank you.
Is there a second? Commissioner Lynch, the second. This didn't go before any committees. Commissioner Hayes, if you would explain this, please.
It's been mentioned earlier, this is another one of our unsung hero departments. And of course, with all the debris and the waste that we have, there has to go somewhere. So it is their responsibility to provide the mechanism. Lewis and his staff have worked overtime. They have put other bins in areas that are the convenience centers where they're needed. They've stayed on the road constantly trying to get them emptied. There's overtime, there's gasoline, there's electricity, all the things that go with that. Also, the tipping fees when we take that class 1 outside, and this is not hazardous waste. This is class 1 household waste. And we did have flood damage. We had 2 of our convenience centers that had severe flood damage. One at South Hall, which was just practically washed away, is going to have to be rebuilt. They're in the mechanism and doing that. We've had a lot of different things. They extended the hours of our convenience centers to make it friendly for our users, our people in need. So this is very much needed. I assure you they don't use a dime more than they have to have.
Questions of Commissioner Hayes on 51036? I see no questions. If you're in favor of 51036, press your yes button. Opposed, your no button. Everybody voted. Record the vote, please, Ms. Anderson.
24 yes.
Thank you very much. 24 yes, 0 no. We unanimously adopt. Resolution number 5103, resolution to appoint Julie Ellis as a part-time judicial commissioner for Williamson County. Commissioner Langston, please.
Move approval.
Commissioner Russell Little, the second. Law Enforcement Committee.
5-4-0 again.
Thank you, sir. Budget Committee.
3 in favor, 0 against.
Thank you, sir. Discussion, Commissioner Langston, explanation, please.
There's been shown a need for an additional judicial commissioner, and this does not involve any additional funds.
Questions of Commissioner Langston? See none. In favor, press your yes button. Opposed, your no button. Everybody's voted. Record Commissioner Barnwell. Thank you, sir. Record a vote, please, Ms. Anderson.
24 yes.
Thank you very much. 24 yes, 0 no. We unanimously adopt. Resolution 5104, resolution authorizing the county mayor to execute a lease agreement with GAP Community Development Resources. Commissioner Hancock, please.
Move for approval.
Ms. Mills, the second. Property Committee report.
5 in favor, 0 against.
Thank you. Commissioner Little, Budget Committee, please.
3 in favor, 0 against.
Thank you, sir. Explanation, Commissioner Hancock.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, this just allows the county mayor to execute the lease agreement that, following up from the last meeting when we gave him the authority to negotiate the lease.
Any questions of Commissioner Hancock on 5104? Seeing none. If you're in favor, press your yes button. Opposed, your no button. Everybody voted that wishes to vote. Record a vote, please, Ms. Anderson.
24 yes.
Thank you very much. We unanimously adopt. 24 yes, 0 no. Resolution 5105, Resolution authorizing the county mayor to execute a lease agreement with the state judge's office. Commissioner Hancock, please.
Move for approval.
Commissioner Tommy Little, the second. Property Committee report.
5 in favor, 0 against.
Thank you. Budget Committee, Commissioner Little.
3 in favor, 0 against.
Thank you. Explanation, Commissioner Hancock.
Mr. Chairman, this again is allowing the county mayor to execute a lease agreement that's been drawn up with the state court system.
Thank you, sir. Questions of Commissioner Hancock on 510-5? Seeing none, if you're in favor of this resolution, press your yes button. Opposed, your no button. Everybody voted that wishes to vote. Record a vote, please, Ms. Anderson.
24 yes.
24 yes, 0 no. We unanimously adopt this resolution. Resolution 510-7, resolution to permit the serving of alcoholic beverages at the Agricultural Exposition Park for an event of the Williamson County Fair. Commissioner Hancock, please.
Move for approval.
Commissioner Cook, the second. Property Committee report.
4 in favor, 0 against, 1 abstention.
Thank you. Commissioner Little, budget.
3 in favor, 0 against.
Thank you, sir. Explanation, Commissioner Hancock, please.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we have a growing infant wine industry in this county, and this allows them to have their tasting and judging party at the county fair. It's absolutely a well-regulated event. Last year I'd left my driver's license in the car, and they wouldn't even let me in without my driver's license, so they'd really do a good job of policing this like it needs to be. I'm like you to support it, you could.
Questions of Commissioner Hancock? You offered to be a judge, didn't you, Commissioner?
Well, no, I thought I looked over 21, but I guess they had some doubt in their mind, but
Any questions? See none. If you're in favor of Resolution 510-7, press your yes button. Opposed, your no button. Commissioner Hayes, please.
I'm sorry. I pressed the wrong button.
Okay. Record a vote, please, Ms. Anderson.
20 yes, 2 abstain, 2 no.
20 yes, 2 no, 2 abstain. Okay. Thank you very much. The resolution is adopted. 510-7. Resolution 510-18, resolution to adopt 3-star strategic economic development plan. Commissioner Hayes.
Move for approval.
Commissioner Wilson, the second. Report from the Economic Development Council. Anybody? Unanimous? Okay. Budget Committee, Commissioner Little, please.
3 in favor, 0 against.
Thank you. Explanation, Commissioner Hayes.
Yes, I think you all received a packet about the 3-star program. You're aware that it is a planning tool that is used for our regional planning, and Diane has done a superb job in overseeing this and bringing it all together. And it's good reading when you have time, because it does tell us what our plans are. It makes it possible for us to receive some grant money, and it really does give direction to our future.
Thank you very much. Any questions of Commissioner Hayes? Seeing none, if you're in favor, press your yes button. Opposed, your no button. Record a vote, please, Ms. Anderson.
24 yes.
Thank you very much. 24 yes, 0 no. We unanimously adopt 510-18. Resolution 510-19, resolution to affirm compliance with federal Title VI regulations. Commissioner Hayes, please.
Move for approval. Second.
Commissioner Mills, the second. Economic Development Council is unanimous for. Budget Committee, Commissioner Little, please.
3 in favor, 0 against.
Thank you. Explanation, Commissioner Hayes.
This is just something we have to do. The federal government says if you're going to get anything, you've got to do it. So we have to pass it every year.
Thank you, ma'am.
If you have questions, I'm sure the mayor can.
Any questions? See none. If you're in favor of 510-19, press your yes button. Oppose your no button. Record a vote. Ooh, Commissioner Hester and Hancock.
Move for approval.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Punch a button, John.
Punch a
I'm
button.
sorry.
24 yes.
We all have now
We
voted.
were talking, I'm sorry. Excuse me.
We all have now voted, Miss Anderson. Record a vote, please.
We got him out of the vote. 24 yes, I'm
Thank you very
sorry.
much. 24 yes and 0 no. Thank you very much. Resolution 51029, resolution authorizing the county mayor to execute a lease agreement with the town of Nolensville. Commissioner Hancock, please.
Now move for approval.
Did I skip one?
10.
Number 20. Participation.
Okay, here we go. Resolution number 51020. Resolution to participate in the Tennessee Development of Economic and Community Development 3-Star Program. Commissioner Hayes, please.
Move for approval.
Commissioner Wilson, the second. Report from the Economic Development Council. Was that unanimous?
Unanimous.
How many's on that council?
I'm not sure. Diane, do you know? 6 or so?
I think there are 12 representatives on the council because every
Were they all
city-
there?
No, that's
Okay.
I don't know how
Just
many.
show, Madam Clerk, just show unanimous adoption. and
Okay.
We don't know how many voted, but it was unanimous. They did have a quorum, I assume. So, Budget Committee, Commissioner Little, please.
We were unanimous too, all three.
Good deal. Explanation, Commissioner Hayes.
This is a sister resolution to the one we've already passed. The other accepted the presentation of the 3-Star program. This is our involvement in being a part of that 3-Star program.
Thank you, ma'am. Questions of Commissioner Hayes? I see none. If you're in favor, press your yes button. Opposed, your no button. Record the vote, please.
24 yes.
Thank you very much. 24 yes and 0 no. Resolution 51029, resolution authorizing the county mayor to execute a lease agreement with the town of Nolensville. Commissioner Hancock, please.
Move for approval.
Commissioner Green, the second, and Commissioner Hancock, you have an motion, you have an amendment to offer,
Committee
sir.
reports first. You gonna do the committee report?
Property committee report.
5 in favor, 0 against.
Budget committee.
3 in favor, 0 against.
Thank you. Commissioner
Yes.
Hancock.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, this is, again, gives the county mayor the opportunity to execute this lease with the city of Nolensville. With that, I'll yield for an amendment to Commissioner Green.
Commissioner Green, please.
The amendment to the resolution is to delete Section 11 of the lease agreement with the town of Nolensville and to renumber all of the remaining sections. The reason for that is the term of the lease is from 1 with the possibility to extend to 2 or 3 years. With that item 11 in there with the entire, either party could terminate the lease in 90 days. The town of Nolensville was not too comfortable with that.
Okay.
And asked it to be deleted. And it's a, and it's, if maybe move out of their present facilities and 90 days later we move them out, they're in trouble.
Okay.
So we just gonna delete that section of it.
So Commissioner Green's amendment to the agreement is attached here, making those changes. A second to the amendment, Madam Clerk, is Commissioner Tommy Little. Any discussion on the amendment?
Mr. Chairman, the maker of the motion is in favor of the
Good, thank
amendment
you.
also.
Thank you, sir. Any other discussion on the amendment? We're gonna vote the amendment first, amending 51029. If you're in favor of the amendment, press your yes button. Everybody's voted. Record the vote on the amendment, please, Ms. Anderson.
24 yes.
24 yes, 0 no. Now we're voting on Resolution 51029 as amended. Any discussion on 51029 as amended? I see none. If you're in favor of the 51029 as amended, please press your yes button. Opposed, your no button. Record a vote, please, Ms. Anderson.
24 yes.
Thank you. We unanimously adopt 24 yes and 0 no. Thank you very much. Resolution 51030, resolution authorizing the county mayor to execute a purchase agreement with Mosley Farm LP for a communication tower. Communication tower. Commissioner Chalfant, please.
Move for approval.
Second.
Commissioner Green, the second. Law Enforcement Committee report.
5 in favor, 0 against.
Thank you, sir. Property Committee.
5 in favor, 0 against.
Thank you, sir. Budget Committee?
3 in favor, 0 against.
Thank you. Explanation, Commissioner Chalfont, please.
Yes, this is just authorizing the mayor to work with Mosley Farm LP. This particular tower, the amount of $8,000 is a real bargain. And we need this to improve the telecommunications in the Nolensville area.
Questions of Commissioner Chalfont on 5-10-30? Commissioner Brockman, please.
Chairman, who put the tower there to begin with? We're purchasing the tower from, I'm just curious. So it's an existing tower?
I'll have to refer to
Bill, would you,
Mr. Jorgensen.
Bill, would you come forward?
I don't
and,
know where the tower came from to start with. but
answer
we
the
will
question
take
as it
it.
relates to who put the tower up and the significance of this resolution, please, sir?
Mr. Chairman, as far as I understand it, the tower was put up by Nashville Wireless Cable about 20 years ago, and they have vacated that tower, and Mr. Mosley owns it now.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Stay close, Bill. We may have another question. Commissioner Davis, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I noticed in this agreement, we're giving up any ability to use it for commercial purposes. Why would we want to do that? We might be able to get a little money out of this.
That's an excellent question, and we have not previously wanted commercial RF infrastructure on our county towers along with our public safety equipment. It's from a security standpoint and knowing who's in and out of the buildings and making sure our public safety equipment stays secure. That's why we don't do that.
Do you know if other municipalities do rent out their towers? I'm guessing many do.
I'm not aware of any in the area. I know the counties that I work with, Davidson, Sumner, Wilson, and Cannon and Trousdale do not on their public safety towers. It's not uncommon for public safety to be on a commercial tower, but again, in those counties, that's not happening either.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions? Does that clarify that for you, Commissioner? If no further questions, Resolution 5-10-30 is for consideration. If in favor, press your yes button. Opposed, your no button. Record a vote, please, Ms. Anderson.
24 yes.
Thank you very much. We unanimously adopt Resolution 5-10-30, 24 yes, 0 no. Resolution 5-10-31, resolution authorizing the county mayor to execute a long-term lease agreement with Mosley Farm LP for the operation, maintenance, and repair of a telecommunications tower. Commissioner Chalfont, please.
Move for approval.
Commissioner Green, the second. Law Enforcement Committee.
5 in favor, 0 against.
Property Committee.
5 in favor, 0 against.
Thanks, sir. Budget Committee.
3 in favor, 0 against.
Thank you. Explanation, please, Commissioner Chalfont.
This would be negotiating a long-term lease with Mosley Farm LP, and that's for the access to the site permit of the county to permit the county to operate.
Any questions of Commissioner Chalfont? This, I understand, is a lease for the tower to sit on, so on the property, just a lease. Any questions? In favor of this resolution, 5-10-31, press your yes button. Opposed, your no button. Everybody's voted. Record a vote, Ms. Lane.
24 yes.
24 yes, 0 no. Resolution unanimously adopted. And then finally, Resolution 5-10-32, a resolution setting the Williamson County Hotel Motel tax rate for the fiscal year 2010 and 11. Commissioner Wilson, please.
Move for approval.
Second.
Commissioner Mills, the second. Tax Study Committee.
4-0 against.
Thank you. Budget Committee.
4 in favor, 0 against.
Thank you. Explanation, Commissioner Wilson.
Yes, sir. Williamson County Hotel Motel tax rate has been set for 4% in the past. And what we're asking is that the Hotel Motel Tax Act require that that same rate, we annually, reset that, and we want to keep it at that 4% rate. and had to be approved before our July meeting.
Thank you. Commissioner Hayes, please.
Yes, as Commissioner Wilson says, this has to be renewed every year or it dies. And just to let you know that our UT Economics Department of UT in 2008 had reported that tourism in Williamson County generated 2,418 jobs. It had a combination of 16 million state taxes as a result of Williamson County tourism and 5.62 million in local county taxes. That, in the essence, saved every Williamson County household $344. That's every Williamson County household. So if we can do more tourism, we can save money and have more money for our educational system without further taxes.
Any questions of Commissioner Wilson as the sponsor of this resolution? Good explanation. I see no questions. If you're in favor, press your yes button. Opposed, your no button. Everybody's voted. Record the vote, please, Ms. Anderson.
24 yes.
24 yes, 0 no. Unanimous adoption of 5-10-32. Any announcements of anything? You've got a couple of announcements on your desk. The Human Resources Committee meeting scheduled for Monday has been canceled due to lack of business. Anything else? Commissioner Smith, please.
I'd just like to say that this is Rodeo Week in Williamson County, and the Noon Rotary Club would like to invite all of you to come out one or more of our nights at the Ag Center. It'll be a great show.
Commissioner Williams, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like just this lease tower that we just approved as a county commission, the $8,000 we're paying for the tower, as I understand. Anybody can answer this question, I'd appreciate it. But then we're paying an additional $850 a month for the use of that property, this tower we just bought. Is that a standard price that's paid at $850 a month, or does anybody know?
Mr. Jorgensen, if you would come forward, please, sir. You've heard Commissioner Williams' question. Is that a standard?
That's below standard.
How about the $8,000?
Oh, for the tower, 8,000? That's a over $100,000 tower, sir.
Good deal.
Feel like
we get our money's worth.
Very good. Thank you for taking care of business tonight, and again, remember to keep all the families in our community in your prayers. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Let's go home. Thank you very much.